Brief aside.
Humans are wide across, fish are wide up and down. So instead of being wide here at the stomach where I'm starting the fishtail, she should be wide like that.
I want her wide front to back from the sternum instead of side to side at the hips. Hello, Ryan. So I've got a bullet point list here myself. It won't help, but I'm trying. I know you like to keep busy, and I hear you have been lately. I hope you're not running yourself ragged. There is such a thing as too busy. So about Girl Scouts, I've looked this up, and so I know policy-wise it's true, but like in the culture, I wonder if it is. Are Girl Scouts good about trans kids? Because the policy says it is, and I just hope that's true of the culture as well. When I was a little brownie, I didn't have words to have said, oh, I'm trans. So I didn't really know because I was barely aware it was a thing. I don't think I was aware it was a thing. And it was the early aughts. Things have certainly changed since then. They might not have been so happy about it in the aughts, but the policy now says they are. And I'm really hoping that they are. I know you are. You've always been very supportive of me, and so if there are any trans girls in your troop, or if there ever end up being any trans kids in your troop, I know they'll be well supported. But I'm just hoping the culture overall supports that. I'm also wondering, like, what you mean when you say they get to decide what happens with the money they get from selling cookies. Like, I don't remember getting to decide that, but also I was very young, and I also hated selling cookies, so I tried to avoid everything involved with it as much as possible. Not a sociable human eye. But, like, is it like they get to decide what charity? Like, I know they're not buying toys with it, but is it like they decide what projects it goes to, what charities, what options do they have, I guess, for what they do with cookie money? I looked this one up too because I was curious. I found this article from 2023, so this seems to be more recent, that the Girl Scouts are working with NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, to help girls with that, with their mental illnesses and mental health and mental wellness and stuff. And I'm wondering how well they're doing on that particular. Like, apparently there's a badge for mental wellness. I don't know exactly what badges involve or how you get them. I know you do like a program to get them, but I don't know exactly what's involved in it. But are they doing a good job at that? I really hope they are. Because as a kid, mental wellness was not really something that was taken into account for kids at all. And I really, honestly, probably could have used some help. So I hope that the girls are getting the help they need. As a mentally ill adult, I know it's nothing to be ashamed of, but I hope they're teaching the girls that too. That it's not special or weird, or it needs managing more than it needs changing, I think is a good way to think about it. It's just a part of us. But yeah, I'm not ashamed to be mentally ill. I'm not ashamed to be bipolar. It can be a pain in the ass, but it's not something I'm ashamed of. One thing I was wondering, and this is not about Girl Scouts, but it relates to mental illness. One of the things that bugs me is when people say things are crazy. That's crazy. You gotta be crazy to think that. Because, like, I think I might say it sometimes too, because it's just such a common phrase. But it always dings me as, like, I'm crazy. Crazy basically means mentally ill, and I am. And it bugs me when people say that. Does it bug you too, or is that just a me thing? I won't say I'm sorry about your lost years specifically. I have a few of my own and I'm kind of neutral on it, so I'm not going to be like, oh, you must feel terrible about it. I am sorry there were so many of them. That's a long time to have lost years for, so I wish it hadn't lasted so long for you. I'm also wondering about your relationship with music in general, but also as a mentally ill human. I love music and background noise in general. It helps me focus. It doesn't quiet the demons in my head. I know that's what a lot of people say. It makes the buzzing go away. And I wonder if that's true for you too. I know you adore it, and I'm sure that that's not the only reason you adore it, if that's even true for you at all. But I was wondering. Shifting to a slightly lighter topic that is related, what's your favorite kind of music? Like, obviously, you played trumpet and band music and stuff, but to listen to, what's your favorite kind? I really like ragtime and EDM, which are nothing alike. Grandpa Vaughn liked big band, is my understanding. Mom likes classic rock, hair metal from the 80s, and I do too, I admit. But what's your thing? Would you ever bother to learn Livin' on a Prayer on the clarinet, Bon Jovi? What kind of stuff do you want to learn on it? You probably don't know DJ Marshmallow, but I'm suddenly wondering if it's possible to play DJ Marshmallow on the clarinet. Anyway, I was also wondering if you would at some point like to play on the channel, or maybe even learn on the channel. Like show how your process is going, how you are progressing, that sort of thing. If not, of course, understandable and cool. No big. But just wondering. So you mentioned posable models and posing your body and stuff, hands, body, whatever. You can get posable models for a lot of parts of the body. You can get them specifically for hands or feet or whatever. You can get really detailed ones or not. I have two that I don't like. I think they were made specifically for manga. I don't know when I got them. And when you first mentioned that, I looked over and saw the femme model and went on a rant about sexualization that was about 2 minutes of the video. I cut it out. You're welcome. Um anyway, posing with little doll models is really helpful, but it also has the problem of the fact that they don't have a musculature system. They're just ball and socket joints as a general rule, which means they can hold poses that humans can't, which is fine if you know enough to correct it. If you don't, it's a problem. I recommend trying any pose you're going to put a model in if you are able bodied at least. If you're disabled, a lot of the time it's just not possible. A lot of the time, if you're able bodied, it's not possible. That's the point. But if you are able bodied and you can do a pose, or you think that an able bodied person should be able to do the pose, try it. This is especially important with femme characters or femme drawings of femme people. This is why I went on the rant about sexualization, because femme bodies in art are often twisted into ridiculous and impossible poses in an attempt to make them sexy. It's weird and concerning when they don't have organs. A great reference for what I'm talking about is Escher Girls, the website. I'll link it in the description. And ending that rant, I hope you don't like this image too much, because we're gonna go through another one. I have a finished image now. It's one more recording before we get there. Love you!